And that's an important part of mythology that maybe not everybody appreciates. Because our schools have really gotten away from the classics these days.
It's true.
That's true. There's so much emphasis on things like math and science, and not enough about classic literature and mythology of the world.
Like the reverse centaur.
Like the reverse centaur.
And the reverse harpy.
And the reverse harpy.
And the reverse chimera.
The reverse chimera.
And the reverse griffin.
And don't forget the reverse minotaur.
Yes.
Which actually is just a bull with the head of a man.
Yes.
So if that's what you were looking for in the reverse centaur, the reverse minotaur may have you covered. All right. Earlier.
Yes, the zoo.
I was really excited to see all the animals at the zoo.
All the animals at the zoo.
Like the elephant and the rhinoceros and
the hippogriff and the
reverse centaur.
Is it all the poop?
Well, there's two problems at the zoo. They don't
I always have to poop at the zoo.
Before you get there.
No, once I get there.
Once you get to the zoo, you have to poop.
It's probably because I keep eating all the animals' food.
Is that when I got to the zoo, everything was asleep.
Uh-oh.
And they had all these signs that say, like, oh, the rhinoceros, he sleeps for 12 hours a day, and the elephant sleeps for 19 hours a day, and the tapir sleeps for 22 and a half hours a day. And I thought, man, I wish I had known about that. I would have come at night.
Maybe they're all in college. It's me up in the morning.
But when I found out they didn't wake up, and eventually I went to talk to a park official, a highly educated zoologist, and they explained to me what had happened at the zoo. And what had happened at the zoo is all of the zoo animals actually had died. And because of the budget cuts in the city, they just couldn't take care of them or replace them. And so instead they put up a sign saying it was sleeping. And that's why the zoo was a big disappointment.
What a bizarre commentary on our contemporary consumerist culture.
Do you have a comment?
Why, did I tell you that I recently escaped from the island of Alcatraz?
Tell us about it. Tell us about the island of Alcatraz.
Well, back in the day, the island of Alcatraz was still being built brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
The bricks had to be flown from France because they were French bricks, which was the style at the time.
French bricks, they're a different standard from English bricks.
True. At the time being 75 years ago, during the second term of Eisenhower the Great III Jr.
Historical education happening here today.
Meta-contextual.
All right.
So anyways, brick by brick, they built the island of Alcatraz. They put mortar in between each brick, and they put mortar in between the other mortar on top of the other bricks, creating some sort of grid-like lattice in which people could be contained.
Containment of people was the big goal.
Containment of people. Believe it or not, the island of Alcatraz was created by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to house people. And when they were building it, I knew I was to be the very first inmate. So I went over to the island and I got my putty knife and I filled it with mortar. And I carved my name in between some bricks.
He carved his name into the island of Alcatraz.
And it is there to this very day.
This very day. All right, that would be silly. What?
Oh, there's some sort of erection going on right next to us.
There's a giant erection happening.
Everyone, look at the erection. Woo! That erection is really going up.
It just keeps going and going. Every time I think it can't possibly be any taller. I'd be flattered to perform in the voice of Jimmy Stewart today. That's a very timely reference to me making. I'm sure all the children appreciate a Jimmy Stewart impression.
Yep. Ooh, that looks like fun. Let me try it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A surprise visit from our other sponsor this evening.
Oral fisting.
Oral fisting. Once you try oral fisting, you will not be resisting. Hey, we made it rhyme this time. If there's anybody in the audience who remembers our pledge to make that joke rhyme, yes, that's right. We made it happen. How's Kermit the Frog doing? How's Kermit? Oh, F you, sir. How's Kermit the Frog doing?
What is this?
Like puppets just all know each other.
What is this kind of weird racism? It's just because just because we happen to be puppets and Kermit happens to be a puppet too, we all look the same and know each other
I
and
think if I knew Kermit the Frog, I'd be hanging out with a bunch of losers like you.
yeah.
No way, I'd be living the high life up on Sesame Street at Kermit's baller pad.
Right. I bet you don't even listen to jazz.
This kind of intolerance and racism against puppets and muppets. Oh, I bet he doesn't listen to jazz.
And you know what they say, if you don't listen to jazz, why, you're not even a man.
No. Children, we have an exciting educational moment for all the children in the audience. We want to tell you about an ancient piece of history called Blockbuster Video.
Blockbuster Video. Come one, come all. Come hear the tale of the place that was.
You see, back in the day, you couldn't browse your Netflix queue on the internet. If you wanted to sit around saying, do I want to watch this, or maybe that one, or no, later, I'll watch this one later, and just never end up watching anything, you had to go to a store to do that. And you would be surrounded by other groups of people who were all doing the same thing for themselves. Just looking through the movies and not picking any of them. And that's what Blockbuster Video was, children.
Blockbuster Video. May you rest in pieces.
Rest in pieces. All right. What?
What? Are you implying that we're repeating our very limited selection of jokes?
We take offense to that idea.
Well, sir, you win a prize because that is what we do.
That's right.
If you've seen us once, you've seen us over and over and over again, and vice versa.
Our promise to you is that Silent Spaghetti Theater's performances will have a timeless quality to them.
Timeless.
Meaning that they're all the same.
All the same. This year, last year, next year, probably the same.
100 years
100 years from now. What's your question?
The same jokes will
Meta-contextual.
It's meta-contextual.